Ha! You thought that there was going to be three easy steps, didn't you? Well, pranks on you, bro. I knew ahead of time how thirsty you would be to click onto the title. But if you really are that mad, let's ask ourselves this question. Why should it be easy? You know, I mean, you may be quickly turning off the channel right now. You may be clicking out, but ask yourself a very simple question. Should it be easy to find love? Should it be easy to get a girlfriend? And there's a lot of different ways to take that. So, if you're interested in what I'm about to say here, welcome to my humble abode where I use clickbait just like everyone else and in order to promote my Christian understanding of everything and to be as politically incorrect as YouTube allows. Um, but I've been pondering what's been going on with dating in 2020 to 2021 with the COVID going on, and it just the stories I hear, it just feels like a carcass of itself. I I really have yet to know anyone. I know friends and friends of friends and friends of friends of friends that cannot get a committed relationship past a year or maybe 2 years. If you know any young people that actually can, let me know. If they can get it past 2 years. But odds are you can't. Can you? Right? Odds are you're avoiding a big 800-pound gorilla in the room that's so bad, that's got everyone so depressed, no one even talks about it anymore. But I'm here to give some hope here. And I'm not here to give you a Pollyanna illusion. It's the reality of how bad it is. But I am here to explain what happened after many moons of reflection and seeing absolute burning dumpster fires on trains, falling off of cliffs in terms of relationships and in terms of culture in general. I know what's going on. All right. I think I know better than most people. Seeing as I'm young, I have experiential knowledge and um, I have the just the general wisdom of understanding this. So here are my three steps. Okay. They're easy, but not because it'll get you there quick. They're easy because it'll be easier and healthier for you. It's a long run that's easier. Okay. It's not a speed run. If you're interested in how I see the dating world, check out this guy, Speed Uncle 99's funny YouTube parody videos. A speed run is essentially a professional gamer or an aspiring professional gamer trying to clear a video game as fast as possible that's an actual competitive sport in a way on the internet. They'll try to get through Super Mario in world record speed without any mistakes, something like that. And he's making these very, very quick comedy videos where he makes up these accounts and he has all these key shortcuts to particular phrases that that everyone is into, like astrology. Oh, I like astrology, and then he quickly Googles things, and then he gets the girl within like a few seconds. And then sometimes he does the opposite, how to get rejected or ignored by girls in another in 10 seconds or less. Um, but as silly as these videos are, they are encapsulating something that's going on, and that something is people's thoughts aren't their own. We're in a land of the mannequins here. In every facet of life, if you really think about it, your own thoughts are not your own. And I don't mean education wise. Obviously, we need education and we will learn. We stand on the shoulders of giants. We obviously need particular information to function in life. What I mean is that when it comes to the matters of a personality and being and self honesty and introspection, there's something weird where everyone's into the same thing. Everyone's into astrology, and these dumb girls, they're all into astrology, like he shows in these videos. Oh, you'd best believe when I was into online dating how much of the same old I've seen. And then, of course, You have the issue with with let's just throw another one. Corporations have become culture. You prefer Starbucks over Dunkin' Donuts. Why? Because it's so cool to go to Starbucks. Nothing about globalization, nothing about mom and pop stores, or maybe having your own taste or trying something new. It's just go along to get along. Um, and then of course you have the music scene, which I harp on a lot. Like everyone's into Imagine Dragons, right? Which isn't an untalented band. I mean, but definitely nowhere near um, the levels of other bands that are lesser known. And why is everything people are into so mainstream and clearly on a top 10 Billboard? Fashion, you just see the same thing, and it's getting so bad that um, a lot of people are checking out of the dating world, even with the libido still existing. It's so bad that people are just there's something, they feel something in the ether and they're just leaving, because it's just turned into such a joke. Uh, and then you have the issue with just the divorce rate, and you just keep hearing about relationships, and there's always some new excuse as to why someone broke up, and they just can't ever and then you look at profiles, and like there's nothing about giving of yourself or sacrifice. It's always about, well, this is what I want, and I'm looking for this, and me, and I'm looking for that. And are we not seeing kind of a huge spiritual crisis going on? The birth rates in Western and Westernized countries, but everyone just seems to want to look, just look away from what's going on. And this is, and making having a family is the backbone of civilization, and it's been turned, the way to get there has been turned into such a used car salesman barrage of just nonsense that it's in the minority now to have a mom and a dad and kids, and in a healthy familial relationship. It's actually weird, or it's bizarre, but we just keep going our own merry way. We let the Pied Piper, just serenade us into the same traps. We have generations of people that are lonely. There are so many people that are like going, like they're lonely. I would say from baby boomers to millennials, we're all getting older, and we're just realizing we wasted all of our time. And once you get into your 30s and 40s, you can't stand a chance against the 20 or the new and up and coming 20s. But you're so busy getting high and party animaling and going through all these vapid relationships. You just completely considered yourself invincible, and now you're here. So this is a trailer for a discussion on this. Here are my three tips to get a girlfriend or boyfriend. Okay. The first tip is to do this mental experiment. Take someone that has a really awesome personality but does not have good looks, and take their personality in your mind and put them into someone who has good looks but um, has an awful personality. You wouldn't trust them with your dog. You wouldn't trust them with anything, as far as you could throw them. And notice how that person becomes much more attractive. There's some higher level thing going on there than otherwise. And do the vice versa. And you maybe through this mental experiment you can see how important the spirit is in the matters of the heart. Okay? And that's just personality. That's just the mind. Now, of course, it's good to be a charismatic person with creative intelligence and their own thoughts and reasoning and clear-headed, and just to be an interesting person. But then, of course, so can psychopaths and sociopaths. They're usually very charismatic people. Many of them. There's just, the Nazis, were very educated, intelligent people. So then, don't stop there. Take someone who is a good person, a selfless person, a sacrificial person, and put them in in the body of someone you consider attractive, and 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 just wonder yourself what's going on there. And it's all personal preference, but you'll notice that the inner beauty is practically more important than the outer beauty. It takes it to another level, okay? And this is just one way to look at things. But the other way to look at things is quite simply this: how much of our passions have been twisted through our own loneliness and brokenness? How much of it is just things that we have to work on? How much of it are just these crutches? It's like looking for a drug. You know, if you considered what you're doing just an emotional release, how much of it is any different from any sort of other addiction? You know, and lastly, do the passions point towards something higher, or do you just think that all there is here? And does that feed into your desperation? Okay, these are some questions we all have to ask ourselves. So the three steps, easy steps, are: go through your own personal timeline. Think about all of the all of the ways that you have gone along with trendiness. And if you have gone along with trendiness, does that make you truly human and truly alive? If all of your opinions and lifestyle is based on what other people are doing. The other is to ground yourself in these higher standards with that mental experiment. Ground yourself in high standards and hold on to it, so that when you run to someone that meets those high standards, it'll be worthwhile. It won't last for like a few months or a year over some catty nonsense. You know, someone that won't backstab you and leave you out hanging to dry. And lastly, if you were not afraid of social approval, and if you were not afraid of being alone, what kind of person would you be? And if you are afraid, and if you're trying to go along to get along, which is more attractive, being someone that's themselves and personable and outgoing and doesn't care what other people think, or someone that blends in with all of these ridiculous tropes and cliches that Speed Uncle 99 is showing you in his videos? If everyone is doing the same thing to be cool or attractive, then how does someone differentiate between the mannequin army, the blob of the same old people with the same clothes and the same hairstyle, etc., and so forth? Let's use some logic here, people. So I hope that helps, and I hope to see you at the stream if you really want to go in depth with me. Maybe we can get something happening in terms of a countercultural thing on this dead, beaten horse. Um, uh, but either way, God bless, and I hope I gave you a little bit of insight as to what I think, and I hope it helps.